Hey everyone. Yeah, been a minute, hasn't it? I haven't made a video since January. At first I was thinking about calling this Season 2 of Where Are We Now to be cute. Then I realized that's stupid. This isn't cable television, I'm not on Netflix, I'm not beholden to the system. I can make videos whenever I want to. So with that, welcome to what is this? Episode 11 of Where Are We Now? The third best thing since sliced bread. The theme for this episode is going to be underwater. The seas, rivers, lakes, and ponds of our planet have always been something of a white whale for us. Our species is just too obsessed with discovery and adventure to be kept out of the drink. But exploration efforts that take us beneath the surface of the water have historically been very difficult. It's a whole other world down there after all. One that really doesn't want us down there. That's why we have to build things like submersibles and flippers and stuff to even move well under the water. And that's not even mentioning the threats posed by the countless predators, vortexes, the eons-old dead god at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, and the poisonous sea urchins. I mean, there's a reason so many people have a crippling fear of deep water. You know, water where your feet don't find anything to stand on beneath you and you look down only to see an impossibly deep, cold, and eerily silent void staring back up at you that could stretch downwards for miles and miles. Yeah, guess what? Those people are the survivors. Fear keeps you alive in Darwin's system. It keeps you from doing dumb things like exploring the deep blue. And yet, we're only human. And even as the fear of being at the mercy of an alien ecosystem makes our blood run cold, we can't help but wonder what's down there. So, today, we're going to be spearing that white whale of ours and parading it through the streets as we explore some of these underwater maps of the Gmod Steam Workshop and find out just what's beyond the shallows. Video games are a great place for conquering your fears, since at least until the 2200s, they can't kill you like being plugged into the Matrix can. So take a deep breath, check your rebreather, and let's see what we can dredge up here. The first map we'll be exploring is called Oceanic Depths by Nathan Satan. Looks like we're on a fishing boat, but it looks a little barren. Like, where's all the equipment? All I see is this net. Maybe it's a cover for drug smuggling. I wonder what that island over there is. It's probably where we came from since it's off the stern. That's behind the ship for all you land lovers. It kind of reminds me of the island from the show Lost. That show was weird. It started off good from what I remember, but it got too metaphysical for me. It's nostalgic though, since when it was first airing in the mid-2000s, my parents would watch it every week. Things were a lot simpler back then. Truth be told, I only have a small fear of water, but this is the worst part for me by far. Looking down into it and not knowing what could be in there. Alright, here we go. Yeah, that's the big blue horrifying void that is most of our planet. Man, there's like nothing. How far down is this going to go? Oh, here's the bottom. What is all this? These are ruins of buildings, I think. They look pretty normal and not that old. I see rebar, concrete, chain link fences. This could be as old as the mid-1800s, judging by the materials. Right over here next to the ruins, there's a statue of a person looking bashful. I'd be bashful too if one of my feet was that much bigger than the other. This is so weird. My first reaction is that this must be one of those expensive underwater art pieces, but that's a lot of trouble to go through. I guess those two things aren't mutually exclusive. Art is suffering. Let's go down into this ravine, see if we can find some answers. Is that a highway overpass? All the way down here? What the hell is going on? Are these remnants of a horrible teleportation accident? Someone just entered the data wrong and teleported an entire city underwater? But then where are all the cars and signs and stuff? Any bodies would be long gone, but I feel like if this were a relatively modern city at some point, there'd be more stuff here. There's so many questions already. Oh, what have we got here? Some sort of bunker or entryway. I can't tell which. Atlantic. I guess that tells us which part of the ocean we're in. And that we're not in the Lost universe, since they were over the Pacific when their plane went down. The door is wubbing. My guess is that it's some sort of ultrasonic device to keep curious fish from tampering with the door. So the light is on. This bunker or whatever is clearly still functional. That opens up the possibility that all the ruins on the other side of the ravine are either being researched extensively enough to justify building a facility all the way down here, or that the ruins are the result of some sort of underwater weapons testing. My guess is for the latter. Weapons testing usually pulls more funding than archaeology does. Which is kinda sad, but at least we get cool guns out of it sometimes. Ah, finally, a shipwreck. I didn't think it would take this long to find one. Hey, it looks just like the ship we started on. What a coincidence. No, wait, this is the ship we started on. The exact same, right down to the paint. I wonder what happened to it. Oh, holy shit! Look at this. These bones are gargantuan. Just look at the size of its mouth. It's got fangs for ripping and molars for chewing. I think it's safe to assume that this was a carnivore. It probably didn't have much to do with the shipwreck, but wow. I wonder what happened. It's probably an extinct species. When an animal evolves to be this big, it starts to have trouble finding enough food to keep itself going. Poor thing probably starved. The ribcage goes on for a while. I think in its prime, this guy could have been at least 300 feet long. Imagine that brushing up against your foot while you're going for an afternoon swim. What do you even do at that point? Pray? This kelp forest is cool, and it's definitely giving Subnautica. Actually, the whole map is, for that matter. And that's a good thing. Subnautica is one of the best survival games ever, in my opinion. It's super memorable, and that's thanks to the handcrafted world that doesn't rely on procedural generation, I think. I hope they keep that same design philosophy for Subnautica 2, which is coming out to Steam in early access later this year. And the ambience. Speaking of ambience, I'm pretty sure some of the sound cues in this map are taken straight from Subnautica 2, and it helps a ton to sell the aquatic mood here. All the fish in this kelp forest look pretty Earth-like to me, though, so no salted peeper for us today. What is this, another vent? It looks just like the one on top of the bunker from earlier. I guess it must be part of the same facility. It's a shame that door didn't open. It would have been fascinating to explore something like that. Another fishing vessel. This one's different, though. It looks newer to me somehow. I don't see any damage. Huh. Weird. Can I go inside and look for treasure like in Assassin's Creed 4? No, not this time. You know, some people call that the last good Assassin's Creed, and I kind of see where they come from, but I don't know. Odyssey wasn't that bad. Oh wow, look at this. We've got some sort of volcanic area over on the other side of the kelp forest. Does the lava hurt me? Ouch, yes. Yes it does. Well, I had to test it, okay? Now we know. This part of the map is sort of spooky. I like it. There's another vent over here too, so there's a non-zero chance that this volcano is where the facility gets its energy from, by way of geothermal or steam power. That's what I'd do, since solar panels won't work well down here. I mean, if it's the underwater weapons testing facility I think it is, they're gonna need a lot of power. I mean, just look at the overpass in the ravine. That shit is crumped. What are they testing here? I know some governments around the world have done testing on subsonic weapons that blast sound waves underwater and can crush submarines. Maybe that's what this is. What the shit is that thing? Alright. Definitely not human. Well, let's not sell ourselves short here. This is definitely not contemporary human. Where's it getting the energy to glow like that? The hands must be some sort of stabilization field or something to keep the current from sweeping it away. But what's it for? Is it just a quirky little decoration from some civilization long past? Whoa, take a gander at this. These structures around the spinny thingy are pretty similar to the bunker and the vents, so I think they're related. Maybe they're researching whatever this thing is, some sort of vortex confined within the support beams. Well, at least it doesn't seem dangerous. It's just kind of weird. Maybe we found Atlantis, or at least part of it, or maybe a portal. You know, I find Atlantis pretty funny because it started out as Plato basically patting himself on the back by setting it up as a sort of straw man in his argument for an ideal state. And yet, even though it was only mentioned briefly in the original manuscripts, the concept of Atlantis still inspires a lot of contemporary fiction. Like, hello, Atlantis Squarepantis? I still can't believe they got David Bowie to agree to that. And like, he doesn't even sing. How are you gonna get Ziggy Stardust himself and not let him sing? What a waste. Anyways, I'm getting off topic here. This map was really cool. I thought the underwater fog that's present in most source game waters would make it a pain in the ass to explore, but the interesting pieces of the map are arranged closely enough so that it's not really an issue. I appreciate the custom models too, like the statue and the skeleton. Good stuff. Alright, onwards and downwards. We've only scratched the surface so far. This next one is called Enrichment Center Resort. It's a portal-themed map created by Praise Mantis, who has actually published a bunch of these portal-themed enrichment centers before. This is the one we're looking at today, though, because look, we're underwater. We may not be swimming, but this definitely still counts. I know this is borderline blasphemy to the Source community, but I've never actually played all of the Portal games. I played the first one, but not Portal 2. I have no real reason for that. I guess in the back of my mind I tell myself that I'm saving it for a rainy day, but we all know that there's been shitloads of rainy days in the last few years. So in that case, I guess I'll play it when PLA troops are in my backyard then. This is sort of nice. A bit creepy, but nice. I have an uncle like that. I'm not a fan of the glass floor though. It looks chic, sure, but it also means you can't really wear a kilt in here. And I don't like having my fashion choices limited like that. So this is the lounge, I'm guessing. I'm surprised I couldn't get better seats than these. I mean, this is Aperture we're talking about. I have no clue what the single dot on this sign even means, but that's where we're going. Maybe it means donut holes. Wow, look at this view. The ocean looks so alien sometimes. It's actually pretty interesting that we can see so far. I feel like usually when I see footage of the seafloor, it's so murky that you can barely see 10 feet in front of you. That's probably what those fans down there are for, getting rid of the murk. Where are all the fish, though? We've got some more skirt-hostile architecture here on the stairs, but this is a nice room. We've got a little indoor underwater park here, complete with plant life and a babbling brook. This is definitely not enough light for these trees, though, so they have to be fake. As a matter of fact, I bet that the insect sounds are fake, too, being pumped in here by some tucked-away speaker system. That doesn't really bother me. This would still be a really nice place to nap or read, assuming the pressure from being down here doesn't give you a headache. How deep are we, anyway? We could see light caustics back upstairs in that hallway, so we're definitely well within the euphotic zone, which is the layer of the ocean where the sun can still cast light. So maybe the pressure wouldn't be that bad. I don't know. Any divers want to chime in here? Looks like we're below the reception area now. What's with all these computers? Isn't this a resort? Oh, I know what this is now. This resort is where you get sent to work if you do an extra good job on your quarterly review. This is how they keep you loyal, by giving you an underwater deep-sea adventure if you do good enough. That wouldn't really make a good reward for a lot of people, though. Certainly not for me. What's this? Keycard required. Interesting. Okay. A little objective snuck in here. I see you, Praise Mantis. I see you. So we need that keycard. Maybe it's on one of these desks. No. I doubt it would be in the same room. That's not much of a puzzle. I do love how every single one of these desks has the exact same coffee stain on it. Like, it was just one guy that kept spilling his coffee, so they kept moving him, but it kept happening anyway. Let's find that keycard. I wonder what those cores outside are doing. Probably security, if I had to guess. I can imagine Aperture research sites attract a lot of international attention. And down here in the water, it might as well be the Wild West in terms of law enforcement. I guess that depends on where we are, actually. We've established that we aren't too far down, so we're most likely near a landmass of some sort. Oh, what is this? I doubt these are supposed to be left open like this. Someone's getting fired. Yeah, marine bioengineering makes a lot of sense, actually. Look, they've got this poor, innocent, terrifying, scary, evil-looking sea creature hooked up to something. To what end, though? This is the Ichthyosaur model from Half-Life 2. It's a pretty popular multiverse thing to consider Aperture Labs and Half-Life's Black Mesa research facility as existing in the same universe. Shit, I think even Valve themselves has played with the idea before, too. Maybe this is a post-Combine invasion set up by Aperture so that they could keep researching after the planet was taken over. That would certainly shift the possible locations for where we are, since the Combine drained a fair amount of the ocean's water mass. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Black Mesa had creatures teleporting to Earth before the Resonance Cascade caused everything to go to shit. That one scientist in the Apprehension chapter of Half-Life 1 tells you that the Ichthyosaur in the cage had been there for weeks. So maybe this is just Aperture meddling with Black Mesa's research projects. I don't know why they would have to do that. Their teleportation tech is way better already. I mean, yeah, their robots are evil sometimes, but at least they aren't bringing humanity to its knees by summoning intergalactic colonial aliens. I guess that sheds some light on what goes on here, but still no keycard. I don't know what that is, but it looks like it stinks. I'm also impressed with how big this room is. My bare-bones understanding of this is that the bigger an enclosed space is underwater, the more difficult it is to keep structurally stable. This would definitely be testing limits, right? What for? It feels like kind of a waste to make this huge of a room for waste. Are those electric components? Under the waterfall? That's ballsy. Maybe they're inactive and this is an art installation. I don't know. Maybe it's not even water. Let me smack it. Yeah, it doesn't smack like water. Oh, the kitchen! Pretty small for a place this size, I must say. I can imagine it gets pretty hectic in here during the lunch rush. Check this out, I know what this is. They're making head crab stew down here. I knew it. So they are stealing Black Mesa specimens. Sneaky little bastards. I have to wonder what head crabs would taste like. They have green blood, so that makes me think their meat would be acidic, but who even knows? They're from an entirely different dimension. I guess there's no real way of knowing. I just hope they don't taste like chicken. That would be such a letdown. Yeah, so this dining area. I'm not a fan. I think it's the lighting setup that's rubbing me the wrong way. All this red light and dark shadow. Nobody eats like this unless they're in some Star Wars cantina. And even then, I bet they don't want to be eating like this. I would definitely take my lunch break in the park if I worked here. I don't want to eat in Virtual Boy Land. Oh wow, look, it's some kind of loading bay by the looks of things. Are they transporting things using a submersible? That's unique. I would bet that it's an undersaturated market, but for good reasons. I doubt underwater vehicles are as cost-efficient to run transit with as your typical cargo boat, so that leads me to believe that this is out of necessity. They have to run deliveries underwater because they can't do it on the surface for some reason. If they're hauling alien specimens and portal tech, they probably don't want anyone knowing about it. Maybe they're avoiding pirates? Nah, I feel like Aperture would just turn them into red mist or teleport them 1,000 meters underwater. A couple boats of pirates go missing, who's gonna come after them? Now Coast Guard or other marine authorities? That could pose an issue for them. If you unmake one of those vessels, you're gonna be attracting some unwanted attention. So maybe that's why. Whoa, what happened over there? Sabotage? There's a shipwreck too, maybe they're connected. I guess this explains the absence of any fish. Look at that light. There's definitely some electricity arcing through the water over there if there's still power going to that room. Fish and electricity don't really mix. Man, I really hope that keycard wasn't in there. That would put a damper on my mood. I think I found the site manager's office, and again, the lighting here would get to me. This isn't enough light to do good paperwork, and in low-light environments like this, you're gonna get eye strain a lot easier working on your monitor. I would know. A little tip for all you fellow night owls out there, the nightlight setting on Windows is your friend. I have it on a timer so that my screen darkens to a less blue color towards bedtime. It helps a lot with sleep. Yeah, unless there's a dial somewhere where you can turn up the lights, I'm not spending a single working hour in here. Oh, what's this thing? Is this the keycard? It sort of looks like one of those commemorative trophies you'd get that has your name and a date lasered onto some glass. Let's take it down and see if this is it. Very cute. So this is creepy. Only one way to go. Down. Just a long, grated iron staircase descending into an ominous red glow. This is just Tuesday for me. Oh, this is just a mess. Someone needs to get a wet vac down here stat before the mold starts to get bad. Looks like it's time for a little swim. Ah, not so bad. Man, where are we going? What the Christ is going on down here? Am I interrupting something? Oh no, don't let me bother you. What is this? It's arranged like some sort of technological church congregation. This is giving Nier vibes. There has to be something to the fact that only the manager has access to this place. They don't want the employees knowing about this, either because it's doing something sinister or because they would freak out. This place is an HR catastrophe in the making. I guess this core up here is the boss of the machines, huh? Is he evil or is his eye just red? These are important questions. If it's not evil, I would just let this be. These machines won't last down here anyways with all this water and only one person able to come down here to maintain stuff. What are they doing anyway? Does this core control all the automated systems upstairs in the Enrichment Center proper? Maybe it's packet sniffing employee search history to learn about the world and tapping into transmissions to plot some Blade Runner-esque machine revenge scheme. Yeah, it's probably that. Why else would the ambience be so evil sounding? Also, if you pay attention, you can sometimes see the Black Mesa logo pop up on the screen up there, so that confirms that connection. This is a crossover. If this is a corporation war though, my money is on Aperture. I'm a Half-Life fan through and through, but to deny that Aperture's tech is more advanced and more consistent is just ignorant. Black Mesa just has better funding, I think. Well, I for one feel pretty enriched. I'd say this place has done its job pretty well. This map has been great. The visuals alone are good enough to earn it 5 stars, but the secret keycard bit just seals the deal. I really enjoy the water caustics that occasionally make an appearance too, and the portal theme is completely on point. It feels straight out of an official game. Fantastic work on this, Praise Manta. Alright, now that we've taken a break from swimming, why don't we get our feet wet again? I think this next map is going to be quite the doozy, so let's get right into it. This map is called Abyssal Plain by Gray the Raptor, who is also the creator of the Vacant Industry map featured in a previous episode, one of my personal favorites. So naturally, I'm pretty excited about this. Holy shit, it's pitch black out here. We must be miles from any surface lights. Betsy. It looks like we're standing on our vessel for this map, but just like Vacant Industry, we've been given a little pamphlet to read. Let's see here. Hello, diver. Welcome to Midas, Marine Imaging and Deep Aquatic Sciences. Here, we specialize in underwater sciences and photography, but it's clear you're interested in our ultra-deep research team. Such a job needs engineers, chefs, marine biologists, and therapists. Your job is to do science and keep the base running until the next rotation of members comes down. You will be assigned to your post 4 miles deep for 10 to 15 days. We have no clue what you'll find down there, but here at Midas, you are capable of overcoming anything. If there is an emergency, take the orange path to Base Lantern. There, you will find plenty of food and air to keep you until our research vessel Betsy arrives to aid you. If Base Lantern is somehow destroyed by structure damage, we highly advise against returning to Base Viper since the Charles incident. We recommend going to Base Growliter instead. If you need some supplies, visit Base Sedna for deliveries. Reminder, keep an eye on Base Angler's oxygen system. We have yet to replace it since its installation in the 1970s. If an internal emergency occurs there, close the security doors. That should be all the information you need. Welcome to Midas. We look forward to seeing you again on the surface. Okay, lots to unpack here. Our job is to do science. Are we sure this isn't just a long-winded scam to feed the... what's it called? The Border Feaster? What the fuck is the Border Feaster? Midas should really invest in some whiteout. This has me a little bit freaked out. And the Charles incident? What happened to Charles? Is he okay? I guess we'll find out. Let's head down and see what we're working with. Huh. It's roomier in here than I expected. There's no bed, but I guess the couch will do in case I need to rest. I'm a little skeezed out by submarines ever since the whole OceanGate incident, but at least this one doesn't seem to be controlled by an off-brand Xbox controller. This must be the engine. I'm gonna flex my college education here and say that this probably needs to be on. Nice. I'm guessing this is the camera feed. Is it broken? Oh no, there's the floor. Wow, this is just like that one game. What is it? Iron Lung, I think? That game is very cool. Masterful exposition and use of cow tools in that one. Isn't Markiplier directing a movie based on that game? He's got great taste. I have high hopes for that movie. So, do I have to, like, control this thing or what? Looks like we've got something on the feed. Let's head out and investigate, shall we? This is Lantern Station. Ooh, an airlock cycle. Cool. Not much going on in here, to be frank. What's this button do? Nothing so far. I don't like you. As a matter of fact, I'm not even going to entertain the thought of picking that thing up. I know a cursed object when I see one. Let's get out of here before it starts a soul link with me or some shit. Ah, that's a lot better. I feel so much safer in Betsy. Good old Betsy. I suppose we should go and check on the other bases, right? There were 4 or 5 in the pamphlet thingy. Ah, more lights. Let's check them out. So we're at Angler Station now. This is the one that hasn't had its oxygen system updated since the 70s, so let's not stay too long. Man, Gray really loves big metal double doors, don't they? Can't really blame them. I do too. This must be the security checkpoint. It's interesting that this is necessary for a research station. Oh, they've got a harpoon gun. That's hilarious. No pepper spray, no rubber bullets, just a fucking deadly impaling weapon in case researchers get ornery. No half measures here. What's this thing on the wall? Is this a map? Oh, it beeps. I'm just gonna leave that off for right now. There's a little room up here too. What is this, a radar of some sort? It's not detecting anything. Oh man, there's more buttons in here too, jeez. I don't know what any of this shit does. I'm just gonna leave it for now in case one of these is the self-destruct button. Caution, contaminated area. Contaminated by what? Bad vibes, maybe. What are these photographs of? I recognize that one in the middle. I think that's just an anglerfish, but I'm not really sure which of these are real and which aren't. That should speak to the vast mystery of the ocean if I can't even determine which of these are real. Life in the ocean gets weird, man. Have you ever seen a barrel-eye fish or a comb jelly? Are you going to tell me that I live on the same planet as this thing? I'm telling you now, if we ever discover extraterrestrial life, it's going to look something like this right here. But let's set that aside. This looks like a morgue of sorts, or at least cold storage. Let's open her up. What is this? I see lights, wires, metal alloys. That doesn't look like any aquatic life I've ever seen. What about this one up here? Is that a rib cage? It's like a skull with some sort of optic sticking out of it. And I don't even know what this thing is. I have no idea. It looks organic. Is it alive? Just what are we researching here, Midas? Are you hiding more under the floorboards? Where am I? Head crabs, of course. These little shits can survive anywhere, can't they? I guess they're kind of like humans in that regard. Always trying to find ways to survive where they don't belong. I have a feeling we're only going to uncover more questions as we press on, so let's do it. Ew, it's another one of these dolls. I know they aren't supposed to be that creepy, but come on. Look at it. I actually don't think your everyday dolls are that creepy, but this one definitely tests that for me. Something about the beady black eyes combined with the fact that the feet look like stubs where an amputation has happened. Ugh. Well, that was a sound, all right. What was that? Is it outside? Nope, I can't see anything. I'm starting to think leaving Betsy parked so far away from the airlock was a bad idea. There's a note on the door here. Oxygen's on the fritz again. 75% of you are clearly qualified to fix it, but are too scared to get your feet wet. What? You don't want to do your job? Wow, spoken exactly like an entitled manager. I have heard that tone plenty of times before. That's the tone of someone who doesn't completely understand the situation, butting in to try to fix things for the sake of pleasing their own superiors. This happens all the time. There's another scribble from someone else about something happening to Growliter Station making people not want to go out. I guess it's only a matter of time until we find out what. Okay, this looks like the oxygen system. Can we... Looks like that did it. That was really easy. Huh. Way easier than writing out a passive-aggressive note and taping it to the door and waiting for people to find it. Crazy how that works. And that about does it for Angler Station here. There's nothing else to find. I'm still not sure what the radar room buttons do, but at least I know they're here. Let's get back to the sub and keep going. Maybe we'll find Growliter Station. Man, this is so cool. It's reminding me of that Aquarium map by Creepernator in one of the episodes we did earlier. And that's very high praise. That map was a ton of fun to explore. Oh, looks like we've got something here. It's Viper Station. What did the pamphlet say about Viper again? Something about the Charles incident? Well, let's head inside. It can't be that bad. Oh my. So it's gonna be like that, is it? Is this Charles's blood? You know, I knew a guy named Charles once. Kind of a deadbeat dad type fella, but he was chill. I hope he's doing okay now. These bunks look awful. The jagged edges of Source Engine geometry isn't doing it any favors, and they're also tucked away in these glorified storage closets. Imagine being stuck in one of these rooms all night with someone else. I'd go crazy. Fuck me. It's fine. Just a power fluctuation. What is that, Morse code? I'm never any good at this. Here, I'll let it play. If anyone wants to translate it, go ahead. Okay, one more door here. Let's see. No whammies, no whammies. It doesn't even open all the way. I guess it's broken. That's probably for the best. Maybe it's better if we don't find Charles. I don't want to know what happened to him. That's his business. I'm in my own lane, flourishing. Let's leave. This place is bad for my mental. Alright, after another short ride in the submersible, we have arrived at Growliter Station. Where is Growliter? Is this it? Holy shit. Gang, Growliter hasn't been destroyed. This shit is just gone. It's not here anymore. Where did it go? How did... You know, I have some words for this border feaster fellow. I was really looking forward to seeing Growliter. So what, did this creature just gobble up the entire base as a midnight snack? Is that what I'm supposed to believe? Just how big is this thing? You know what? Never mind. I don't want that question answered. Well, since Growliter Station is just 4 metal pillars sticking out of the sand, that only really leaves one more base mentioned in the pamphlet. Sedna. What is this thing? It's some sort of transmitter. It looks broken.
Oh, you're one of those Abyss guys, right? They suck, doesn't it?
Hello?
Hey, on the bright side, when you got back, definitely enjoy the surface like you never did before. Place still gives me the creeps.
What gives you the creeps?
Alright. You're not gonna say anything else? I'll see you on the surface.
I don't want to meet that guy at the surface. He sounds like an asshole. There's more voice lines here, but it's mostly just the surface dwellers who have no idea that there's something going on down here. I say let them live in blissful ignorance. They'll find out eventually. They might as well enjoy not knowing about it while they can. So this is Sedna Station, huh? And who is this cute little number right here? Wow, this looks just like one of those drones from Soma. Another great horror game. Where's its friend, though? Maybe it's inside. There's no immediate blood or viscera assaulting my senses, so I'd say the Sedna is pretty great comparatively. They have a pretty full storage room here, a working wet elevator, and all their equipment seems to be running fine. Better yet, there's no creepy dolls. I think Sedna is the only station that I can give a passing grade. Well, that's all the stations visited, but I guarantee you that there's more to see if we venture outside the bounds of the submarine's predetermined track. It'll be scary, but I think we should go for a swim. So the first thing I found outside the track is this big metal cube. It's mostly smooth, with the only distinguishing feature being this one corner perfectly sliced off. There are noises coming from it, but I can't make sense of them. It sort of sounds like something's moving around in there. So is this some kind of alien-made machine that's been collecting data from our planet? Or is it a case built around something dangerous and unkillable made to protect us from whatever horrors lie within? Who knows? Maybe it's just a cube. The next interesting thing would be this. This is the border of the map as far as I can tell. A sea of bones that just stretches on, seemingly forever. This would be thousands and thousands of bodies, which is a pretty startling figure. Why are they down here? Are these the victims of the infamous border feeder? Or are they unsold Halloween City props dumped down here for tax reasons? It's probably that. I mean, there are so many bones. It's like the bottom of New Londo down here. I hypothesize that if you go far beyond the threshold, you get eaten, so I'm gonna avoid doing that for the time being. Oh hey, I found another little drone. It doesn't look damaged, but someone took the battery out. That's weird. There's some foul play going on here. I'll just swap the battery over from the other one at Sedna Station. Good morning, Princess. Whoa, look at her go. I guess I better follow, or better yet, hitch a ride. Huh, this is awesome. Man, where are you taking me? What is this, a coffin? Whoa! Doubloons! Real doubloons! Holy shit. Wait, where are you going? I guess that explains why the battery was taken out. I'd be willing to bet that this thing has a direct feed going somewhere. Somebody knew that the treasure was going to be found by whoever was watching this drone's feed, so they decided to sabotage it. I brought the drone a goodie and it led me to treasure. That's just like the dogs at the stables in the newer Zelda games. Super cute. There they go, into the great beyond. After a bit more swimming, I found this creepy altar too. It hums with this sort of metallic, cosmic droning sound. I have no idea what it wants, but it looks evil. Maybe it wants my soul. Well, you can't have it. I need it to play instruments and to cook delicious food. What if I want to join a jazz band one day? What am I going to tell them? Sorry guys, I gave my soul to an ancient Lovecraftian altar on the seafloor in 2025, no can do? Wow, look at this. It's a ship. A cargo ship, maybe. Well, half a cargo ship in any case. This is freaky. I wonder what's inside. There's breathing coming from the other side of this door. What the hell? Who is in there? How long have they been down here for? The door doesn't open. That's quite perplexing, I won't even lie. Just the sheer logistics of living down here at the bottom of the ocean with a breathing apparatus for any extended period of time. Do they have extra tanks? Do they resurface for supplies and stuff? Why do they live down here in the first place? Are they just not really that big of a fan of air? My headcanon is that it's some exclusive billionaire's vacation down here. Living off of oxygen tanks in a shipwreck sounds exactly like the kind of dumb thing someone with way too much money would do to feel alive again. Check out these massive bones! This thing would have been colossal in its time. It's some sort of prehistoric beastie. I love it. I have to say, I'm extremely satisfied with the number of huge skeletons in this video. 1 was great, 2 was going above and beyond what I ever expected. I wonder what this thing would have looked like. The teeth aren't sharp, so it could have been an herbivore, cruising along the kelp forests, just devouring entire swaths as it goes. No eye sockets either, so it was most likely blind. Man, blind and can only eat plants? That sucks. Wait, actually, the ribs are opened up at the top, and the spinal column is half buried in the sand. It's possible that we're looking at it belly up, and this piece here is the bottom jaw rather than the top of the head. So maybe it isn't blind. Super cool either way. Alright, there's one more thing I've seen while swimming around, but it looks really important, so I saved it for last. It's this thing. I'm going to touch this up as best as I can because it's a flickering light and I hate those, but it certainly looks like something worth investigating. What happens if I touch it? Oh! Hello? Where am I? That's a lot of bones I'm stepping on. Sorry, everybody. What is this place? Are these tombs? Some kind of mausoleum, maybe? They don't open or anything, and I see no other entryway so far. The headless statues with doves cupped in their hands is a nice creepy touch, though. Alright, feels like I'm going into a boss fight or something. Is that daylight? This has to be extra-dimensional. It just has to be. Okay, let's meet the chief. Well, there's a noise. Nope. That's a goddamn awful noise. Don't you know people watch this shit in bed? Alrighty then. That was perfectly normal, right? Well, here it is. Brace for awful noises, everyone. Okay, it's not that bad this time. What does this thing do? Maybe if I bring it to that altar? Let's try that. Nope, that didn't do anything. What an anticlimax. That's okay. It's about the climb, isn't it? Or in this case, the dive. I don't actually think this box does anything. It's a mystery forever. Its contents will forever be unknown to us until the end of time. or until Gray the Raptor decides to update this map. But what is the sound coming from it? It definitely sounds like interference of some kind, like it's some kind of device. Maybe someone with more time and more talent can figure this out. For me, I think it's time to head to the surface. I feel like I'm going to get the bends if I linger down here for much longer. Exemplary work as always, Gray the Raptor. You succeeded in creating a really dense and creepy atmosphere, and I can definitely see how stuff like Soma and Iron Lung have influenced this map. It really shows, and those are great things to draw inspiration from. And I don't even think I found everything there is to find, so if you found this map intriguing, be sure to download it and investigate for yourselves. And that goes for all of these maps. The seas of Garry's Mod maps remain mysterious and terrifying. I feel like with every question I banish with an answer, 2 more float to the surface to take their place. Video games are great for doing dangerous stuff like exploring the ocean. You won't catch me dead getting in a submarine for the so-called sake of adventure, but in the digital world? Hell yeah, I'm going down there. It's so alien down in the water, you just never know what you'll find. I feel like I've said alien like 13 times throughout this video. But it's applicable, I mean, we all saw it. We found massive skeletons of long-dead prehistoric creatures, the twisted metal remains of vessels unable to confer with Poseidon's wrath, and plenty of other things to theorize about. To be 100% honest with you all, when I came up with this theme for a video, I didn't think it was going to be super interesting, since exploring underwater areas in Source Engine games is basically just a glorified fog map, but it actually added a lot. The large swaths of time spent combing the ocean floor in search of something interesting to talk about only made it all the more gratifying when I finally did find something. Okay, that's gonna do it for this episode. Thanks for tuning in to Where Are We Now? I hope it scratched that all too familiar itch for exploration. I know it did for me, but I don't know, I might need some ointment or something soon. It gets bad sometimes, I should see a doctor. Anyways, don't forget to salt your water when you're making pasta. And I'll catch you on the flip side. See ya. Hey, you made it to the secret news segment. Welcome. I sometimes do these after the credits to talk about stuff that most people probably don't care about. In this case, it's regarding my current life situation in general. I'm in the latter half of my last semester of college, and oh boy, let me tell you, I'm busier than a mosquito in a blood bank right now. It was a miracle I was able to make time to get this video made, but I just had to. I don't want to let college stop me from doing what makes me happy, at least not completely. I actually considered making this video really short, like only featuring one map, but I don't want to do that. That's just not what WoW is to me. So that's where I've been. After I upload this, there definitely won't be another video until sometime later in May. I'm gonna really have to lock in for finals since I'm taking 6 classes. And to be honest, that's kind of on me. I should have taken more last semester, but whatever. Here we are. But it's not like I don't have anything to show for it. I actually had the opportunity to make a game this semester for class. It's nothing crazy, it's a dungeon crawler that takes about 15 to 30 minutes to complete, but even so, it was eating up a lot of time. It's a full game, it's playable and stuff. Hopefully I get to show that to all of you someday. Like I said in the 2024 year in review video I did a few months ago, I do have a lot of ideas for videos, and those are going to be coming out one by one this summer, I think. It's looking pretty exciting, and I hope to see you all there. Okay, that's really all I had to say on that. Thanks for listening. Alright, bye for real now.